Hello boys, welcome back to another session of video tutorials, and this session is meant for class 12th biology students, and this is also meant for 10th August 2020. Our memory helps us in tracing out what we have been discussing, reflecting upon, understanding the concept. As you may recall, we were talking about the chromosomal theory of inheritance, as well as some of the diseases that were transmitting because of either change in the gene structure or change in the structure of the chromosome. To further elaborate in this session, we are going to discuss about genetic disorders. So genetic disorders are disorders that creep in due to change in the structure of gene or change in the structure of chromosome. So based on that, if there is a change in the structure of the gene in the form of DNA changes, then we say these are Mendelian disorders, Mendel's disorder, because they follow Mendelian principles. And second, if there is any change in the structure of the chromosomes leading to some disorders in the person, then we say chromosomal disorder. So basically genetic disorders are of two types, Mendelian disorders and chromosomal disorders. So Mendelian disorders, as I said, mainly determined by alternation. So there is a change. Where is the change? In the gene. It may be single gene. And the change may be because of change in the structure or sudden change, which we call it mutations. Because of mutations also there can be change. So it obeys the principles of Mendelian inheritance. So principles of inheritance during transmission from one generation to other. So Mendelian disorder traced in family by pedigree analysis, which we were discussing in our previous session. Pedigree analysis is a tree through which we can analyze the possible path of a gene or missing gene. So by knowing the genotype, we can understand the possible missing gene, as we said. So the Mendelian disorders are many. Out of that, some of the disorders we will be studying in this class. One is hemophilia, color blindness, cystic fibrosis, sickle cell anemia, phenylketonuria, and thalassemia. So these are the various diseases, genetic diseases that we will be studying in this. So pedigree analysis will tell us whether the possible listed genetic disorders, or is it because of dominant gene or recessive gene. And it also tells us whether it is autosomal disorder or sex chromosome linked, X-linked recessive trait. Trait may be linked to sex chromosome, as in the case of hemophilia. And in that sex chromosome, there is X-linked recessive trait. So there should be X chromosome, and on that there is a recessive gene. Then the person will have hemophilia. So it is transmitted from carrier female to male progeny. Unfortunately, most of the time it is the men who suffer from this disease. Now, what is this disease about? Hemophilia. That is, it is a sex-linked recessive disease. The defective individual continuously bleeds. This is the thing, bleeding. So blood will be coming out of the body if there is any even minor cut. Normally, if there is any cut due to, say, accident, or while playing any game, or while even doing shaving, the blade, because of blade there is a cut, and while vegetable cutting, if there is a cut, then normally in 30 seconds to 40 seconds there will be clotting in that area. But a person suffering with this hemophilia, there won't be any clotting. Continuously there will be bleeding. So that is very, very dangerous. And the gene for hemophilia is located on X chromosome. So it is sex chromosomal inheritance, and in particular X chromosomal inheritance. In this disease, a single protein that is part of the cascade of proteins, means group of proteins that involved in the clotting of blood is affected. So there won't be clotting of blood. That is the problem. The disease is transmitted from unaffected carrier female. See, unaffected. Why unaffected? The female is unaffected because she is only carrier. She is not suffering. And this comes to gift to the male progeny. So if the female has to suffer, then she has to have on both her X chromosomes the gene. Then only she will suffer. If there is only on one X chromosome, then it will be carrier. So heterozygous female carrier transmits to sons. Female being hemophilic is very rare because mother should be carrier and father should be hemophilic. Then only the female will be hemophilic. Let us explain this through a chart. Now let us take the first case. Now in the first case, as we are depicting, we are taking a father with a hemophilia, because look at that, this is the factor H for hemophilia. He's got a recessive gene present on X chromosome. So even if it is on one X chromosome, the male will suffer and the mother is unaffected. If there is a marriage and conceptualization, what happens is in the F1 generation, that is in the children, the chromosomes will be segregating and reassembling in this fashion. So first we take this XH from the father and X from the mother. So that results in XH and X. Since it is only one X is having, only one X chromosome out of the two is having the recessive gene, she is a carrier. She is not getting affected. She is a potential carrier. And when this Y chromosome combines with another X chromosome or any of the X chromosomes of the female, that results in X and Y. Since both the X chromosome and Y chromosome is not having that recessive gene, male is safe. The male is normal. He is not hemophilic. But to look physically, phenotypically, this lady also, daughter also looks normal. But then she has got potential danger inside. Because when she gets married, she is likely to give the gene, donate the gene to son. Now let us see this. Now the F1 generation that we are speaking about, XY normal son and a carrier, a lady having one gene in that, like this. She is a carrier. Now when they produce children, what happens is, now you take this X and X. This is the combination. So you get this one, X and XH. That means one of the X chromosomes is having recessive gene. So she is again carrier. She is a carrier. And what about this? The X chromosome combines with another X, XX, normal daughter. And the Y chromosome combines with XH. Y chromosome with XH. What happens? Look at this. The male suffers. Male becomes hemophilic. And Y chromosome with X chromosome. XY normal. So out of the two sons, unfortunately, one son is becoming hemophilic and other son is healthy. Out of the two daughters, physically they will be appearing normal, but one girl is dangerous because she is a carrier. This is how the carrier gives a gift to the son during this recombination. And now we will take the another possibility. Unfortunately, if the father is hemophilic, on X chromosome there is a recessive gene, and the mother is a carrier. Now look at this. Mother is a carrier, XH, XL. And when the combination takes place, look at this, XH, XH. Now this is the new combination which you are hearing. Look at that, XH and XH. Daughter with hemophilia. She has got hemophilia. And then XH, and we take up this X, XH and this X. That becomes a carrier. The female is carrier. Now we take the Y, Y and XH, this combination, Y and XH. Unfortunately, the son becomes hemophilic. And what is left? Y with the normal X. The person is normal. So, out of the two sons, one son is hemophilic, one son is normal. Out of the two daughters, both are dangerous. One daughter, because both the X chromosomes, she is having the hemophilic gene, so she becomes 100% hemophilic. Whereas the other daughter having on one X